And we're going to kick things off on Ohana between HuK and Sniper as we get ready for everything to load up.
Sniper is an interesting name for a ZerG player to take, you know? Most of ZerG players are, let's think,
abusive?
DRG.
Right. Oh,
You know?
okay.
Well, I'm just thinking name-wise. You know?
I
Purely
thought we were
name-wise.
describing them. Right.
No, well, there's no, like, soldier that I can think of, but he's a sniper.
Right.
Like
right.
life
Maybe
and
that was
symbol.
like maybe he has a compulsory military
Kill.
service and Sniper like
That's what he
wants
wants
to
to
be
do?
in. Yeah, he's like,
Okay.
hey man, I have pretty good accuracy. I have good
We'll have to
I have
ask
good
him.
hand coordination with eyes.
Maybe we'll ask him in between games. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
All right, so, well, in our bottom right-hand corner, the red Protoss here, coming from EGRC. It is our fan favorite by far, HuK.
And over here in the top left, we have a GSL semifinalist, also one of the best ZerGs on MVP, and consequently one of the best ZerGs in Korea. It is MVP Sniper.
Consequently in the world as well.
That's true. Well, that's right. If you're the best in anything in Korea, you might as well consider yourself one of the best in the world.
Even cooking,
Even cooking. Football is the same.
foosball.
Foosball is the same. Actually, I don't even know if Koreans play foosball, man.
If they did, they'd be the best in the world, apparently.
There
that's what
are
you're saying.
some really,
That's what
really,
you're
really,
implying.
really good foosball players, man.
There are.
There's like you
I
think there's
wasn't
mind.
dissing
You think
foosball.
there's mind games in StarCraft? Think about the mind games in foosball, and reaction time there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I wasn't dissing it by any means. It's a fun game.
It's alright. I'm not like a competitive foosball player. It's okay.
You sure? Were you at one point?
No. I just played a lot back on my college campus, and we used to play for money. But like the rule
So you were
was
professional. You were a professional foosball player for money.
the rule was that if
Today we learned, guys.
the rule is that for every game you lose, you don't necessarily have to pay. You can also opt to take a shot instead and then play again.
Ah.
So it's
I
a
see.
really fun game to play in college.
Drinking game foosball.
Yeah, the best kind of foosball, the best kind of anything, honestly. Now this is a PvZ on Ohana, a map that we've always seen lots and lots of immortal pushes. We'll see what HuK has planned.
Everything's very standard so far. HuK is opting for a Nexus and then still pylon blocking. This can, okay, well, he canceled the pylon right away, which is interesting. I think that's probably a pretty smart way to do it. He doesn't really care if the ZerG takes this expansion over there. That kind of forces the ZerG to have a queen transferred there late, potentially miss an inject as well. So that's kind of what HuK wants out of that, and he's now putting down his forge for the gateway, which is what he needs to do. If you look at the timings here, the forge is definitely going to be in time, as long as he still has the ability to put up a pylon to block that. He actually did make the gateway before the cannon. I guess that makes sense because forge isn't still not done. So as long as he is ready to put down a pylon to full block here, he should be fine.
Well, 4 things are out, pretty standard from Sniper because it will deal with pylons very quickly. And Sniper is going to move, but just like you said, Sheth, HuK should be completely fine. You know, Ohana a map where you can pretty much get very safe to maybe
90,
even 3
100,
base.
okay, he just has enough. There's the pylon. Phew.
Yeah, and then if you get it in, you can just harass Protoss for a long time.
Oh yeah, 3 Lings are really, really strong once they get into your base.
Well, HuK does stabilize here, and Sniper is going for 3 hatchery before gas, very standard as well. You know, oh wow, HuK, is he really gonna try to pull this off?
Nope,
Oh.
he really can't try and do it off that hatchery. You can't try on the other one, but there's this queen now. Queen's just like, hi, how are you doing?
Queen did not notice at all.
Surprise. But that's really good for HuK. Excuse me, he gets to see that the hatchery is on the way. He knows that there's very likely nothing crazy. No all-ins, no roach all-ins, baneling all-ins. Baneling all-ins on this map are actually very, very strong. Roach all-ins can be too easy. There are 2 entrances if he decides to wait and hit down the other rocks, or even if not, it's a very wide choke right there, as you can see.
HuK still, well, let's see what he likes to do. You know, I haven't really seen HuK ever really favor Stargate. I've seen him like to go Robo as kind of like a base, maybe even throw in some more gateways, and even try to experiment with Twilight Council. But from a lot of the PvZs I've seen, he hasn't really done much. Now that said, HuK has played several PvZs to get here, but they're not. I don't think they're the caliber of Sniper. He beat Ghost User and Sasquatch, and with all due respect, I think Sniper is a league above that. So. You know, HuK has a bigger challenge on his hands. You know, he's been playing Terrans pretty well today. How's his PvZ feeling?
Alright, well if we go ahead and look at a few of the gas expenditures here from the Protoss, first thing he did was get Warp Gate. Then he started +1, and now he's getting 2 more Vespian Geysers. This is the sort of thing where we know for sure now it's not going to be a Stargate. The thing here is probably not going to be an Immortal Sentry all-in. because otherwise you need sentries, right? That's kind of the key deal.
Quick robo too.
A few things we can see here are stalker elements, because he is focusing on that +1. There's definitely a timing he can do here with +2 and a whole bunch of stalkers. He's throwing down, is that 4 more gateways?
Yep, he could. Well, he's going
more.
for only 4 right now. Oh, never mind. He's going to start tagging on some at the natural as well. We'll check in back later of how many he finally settles on. Sniper, meanwhile, gassing at his 3rd instead of his main and his natural, which is, you know, we've seen some Zergs really experiment with giving vision like that. But what do you think about this position specifically, Chef?
All right. Well, there was a huge post recently on TeamLiquid.net, and I think possibly on Reddit as well, talking about how if you look at map balance, certain Vespian geysers mine at different speeds. You might not think it's true, but even on pro-level maps such as Ohana here, I'll try and be quick since we are looking at like an 8-gate, but basically certain Vespian geysers take like 11% or some percent, I forget the percent longer, to mine gas, and that's very, very important. So there's a chance Sniper knows that those 2 Vespian gas at the 3rd base mine quicker than the Vespian gas in the main, and that's why he would take them there.
Wow, Sniper really has no clue this 7-gate is coming. Oh my goodness, he really has no preparation. He doesn't have any Spire Crawlers. In fact, his Roach Warden is not even done, and HuK's about to warp in everything with +1. And
he went up to 80 drones without really making, or not 80 drones, but 80 supply. 80 supply in general, so 65 drones. In reality, you have to stop at around 65 supply in order to deal with this properly. And he is going to make roaches here. So if he can delay long enough for those roaches to get out, he can hold this off.
But he lost the queen at the 3rd. He's going to fall immediately behind an Injax. HuK doesn't necessarily have a very far forward pylon. Would like to usually tuck one in, but his probe did die at the natural. The Zealots are now targeting down the 3rd. Sniper caught completely off guard, and as a result, HuK will be able to get a pretty nice advantage here. The roaches do pop, and they will be able to kite. Creep spread does help him a lot, but man, HuK catching this opponent completely off guard, and the 3rd hatchery drops.
Yep, and something you can look at from here is HuK does have 700 Vespian gas with this. Last time we watched him play against Life, he transitioned from this into quickly legs, or speed for those Zealots, and then he went into Archons. This game we're going to have to try and see if he does something differently. I like that he's not making a whole bunch more Zealots. That's what he did last time as well. He actually banked up something crazy like 1,600 Vespian gas. This time, he's not banking it up. He's making sentries. He's letting their energy build up. He is going to let his army get trapped here, which can be a mistake for sure. But in this case, I think his army was trapped, but it got the 3rd, and that was what was important. And
Sniper is going to try to kill off this unit pack before he does anything else, but he's in full unit production, and you see that HuK does commit to this. He's going to have his Zealots engaged on some of the Zerglings, but the Roaches are able to sandwich everything. Nice force field does allow him to section off some of the units, so he doesn't have to fight at Sniper's full strength, but meanwhile he is getting his Robo stalling for a lot of time. Massive Zealot warp in as well. He's going to get sentries, immortal Zealots, be safe back at home, and 2 base versus 2 base for now is a nice position for HuK.
Very true. Something you want to look at, though, is the amount of workers. So if you could go ahead and check that out for us. All right, so it is only 57. He did lose, now even 54. He lost something like 11 workers, I believe. Was that the count?
Well,
65?
It was 6 workers.
Oh, okay. But, I mean, he made things. Yeah, he has to remake his Vespian geysers in his main, and he already has them at the 3rd, but he can't use them. So I guess 8 then would be the right amount.
Okay.
I guess theoretically, if you're counting that. And obviously they're not gone forever, but those 2 Vespian geysers are not being used despite being made. And that's what's really going to help HuK stay in it. If Sniper had remained at 65 full drones, his saturation of the 3rd would instantly go right back up to full, but it's just not. And because of that, HuK is in good shape.
Well, it looks like HuK is going to go for a Twilight Council as well as getting his Robotics Bay. Yep. Could go for the charge as well since he has an insane amount of Zealots. But let's see how HuK's going to handle this pressure onto the 3rd base. Obviously, Sniper would like to deny it. Ooh, a barreled Zergling to make sure to deny that without an observer. HuK can't do very much, but actually nice, good force field to zone off a lot of the Zerglings. And there is no observer, so he's going to have to ignore those for now.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting fight. HuK really needs either stalkers or to just be able to keep all of his sentries alive. And you might think, okay, look, HuK's winning this fight. He's winning it very easily. That's true. One of the things he did do is he lost a lot of sentries, and he doesn't have his 3rd up. So this is all almost like hypothetical lost mining time, or like, I guess, yep, losing these sentries too is like that Overseer is so sneaky. Just tricked those poor sentries out of position.
Well, HuK's just going to go for another push here with his 2 Immortals. Does he have anything following like a War Prism? No, he's got a Colossus instead. And I guess he's going to set up like he's going to go for a third base. Meanwhile, he's going to pressure as well. Sniper not necessarily in a good position either. He does have pathogen glands, but I don't think he has any infestors out into the field either.
Sniper is in a good position. Oh, well, that's kind of risky, actually. But I guess there's that other way up, so... Sniper should be fine here. The energy on those sentries is very, very low. He's going to be able to flank HuK here, and there's only Zealots. Even with 2 Immortals, Zealots are just so weak against Roaches in this number, especially if they're microed properly. The sentries can get picked off. I really don't see HuK having this attack, even with those few Stalkers being that successful. I think he'll probably have to run back, make a third. The worker count here could be interesting. I'm not really sure what that is yet.
Okay, so let's go ahead and check. It's 59 to 57.
So if HuK escapes with his army here, he's not in that bad of shape. He's down on a base, but he's not really down on workers. The key is going to be able to escape with this army or not.
And he's, well, he does have a Colossus out into the field, but he's not necessarily going to protect all of his units. They split up, and the Immortals get immediately sandwiched. We see that HuK is just going to continue to engage in this spot. The Colossus still back at home. HuK trying to add in as much DPS as possible. It does manage to finally deal with the Zergling back that was burrowed under his third. And now Sniper realizing that, well, you know, I can't necessarily... Oh, the Colossus is way out of position, though.
I mean, HuK has to kind of be running a little bit quicker here. Losing that Colossus, losing the sentries from this army, losing both those Immortals.
No, this is too much damage, Sheth. He's lost almost everything, not really keeping everything compact.
Well, he had everything safe, and then he just felt safe, right? It's that trick of, like, well, he felt like he was safe. I guess he said safe 3 times really quickly there, but he wasn't.
Well, now Sniper has Infestors out into the field. He is going for a Spire just in case he can utilize any of those Corruptors. Sniper, let's see, he's droning back up as well, so he's feeling very comfortable. In fact, his Infestors are... he's showing his Infestors to HuK.
Yeah, potentially he's baiting him. I think realistically it's just a mistake.
I sure hope it's a bait, because I mean maybe he's tempting HuK to go out, but either way HuK has so many buildings here that he really can't get to those Infestors easily, especially considering that he doesn't have Blink.
Alright, so right here it's going to be a focus on, can HuK section off the infested Terrans when they're spammed from the rest of the army? Oh, getting that Colossus fungled is very scary. It should get focused down by those Roaches really quickly. Oh, the Colossus does... Ooh, almost managed to escape.
But the Infested Terran is targeted down immediately, and HuK doesn't really have much to deal with this unit count. He only has Gateway units with only +1 as the real upgrade, and I mean, Sniper's pushing in here. It's not like he has a lot of upgrades. He just has way more units. He's able to really shut down the big force of Gateway, and he's kept his Infestors alive too. That's the best part. Even if he doesn't crush here, I mean, HuK has no real ability to do anything to follow us up. He is going to warp in some Zealots to try to pressure. But Sniper, he's looking sharp.
Yeah, it's all going to be, I guess, how much those Zealots do with the third, and if HuK can manage to save his third. If he can get back into it. But with this huge stream of Zerglings, I really don't see it happening.
Well, HuK's pressure gets immediately abated at the third base, and meanwhile his third base is dropped, and HuK, all of a sudden, when it looked like he had a pretty decent advantage, calls GG, and MVP Sniper takes game number 1. As, well, HuK looks like he had a pretty interesting ability or interesting shot to be able to get into a nice position against Sniper. So how do you think he should have followed up his early game advantage?
Well, I said safe 3 times real quick. He felt safe. He brought his Colossus out to the front. In reality, he really wasn't. The Zerglings just kind of flooded in there with those few Roaches, and he didn't get the part of his army that was vulnerable back to base when he needed to. And it was just kind of a thought where he thought, okay, I'm safe with this army. We can fight and engage, and I'll win, because look, I already killed your third. I've merged my 2 armies. I should be safe, but he just wasn't. Sniper's macro was too good.
Yeah, and he was able to stay on top of everything and just get the easy surrounding, just keep the pressure non-stop from that point on. Now we're going to go to Metropolis